Good afternoon and welcome back to the Antique Airshow. On today's video, you join me on board Singapore flight SQ28 as we depart Changi Airport, Singapore, bound for Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, Washington, United States of America. I was able to film our departure out of Singapore, so sit back and enjoy 4 minutes of flying. As we depart, I will provide some commentary about the history of Changi International Airport, but if you prefer to just enjoy the ambience and view out the window, that is all good. Just press the mute button now. The current airport at Changi is in fact the third location for Singapore's main international airport. The first was located close to the city on the Klang Basin. Klang Airport was built in the 1930s and officially opened in June of 1937. Not only was it Singapore's first commercial international airport, but also the first purpose-built civil airport in Singapore. It served Singapore for nearly 2 decades, until a new international airport was opened at Paya Lebar in 1955. Operations would cease at Klang. Paya Lebar Airport was expected to handle some 300,000 passengers a year, which was quickly reached. By 1960, 11 airlines were operating 125 weekly flights, bringing in 300,000 passengers a year. Passenger numbers and flights in and out of the airport would only continue to grow and at rapid rates. By 1975, the airport was seeing some 4 million passengers pass through. With only one runway, it was very clear that Paya Lebar Airport was quickly reaching capacities. Options were explored to expand the airport, but ultimately these were all rejected, with the decision being made to build a new airport at Changi on the eastern part of the island. Paya Lebar Airport was close to the city centre, and there were concerns that expansion would impact housing developments nearby as well as increase traffic over the city. By moving it to the east of the island at Changi, it would be away from the city and have landing and takeoff routes over the ocean. Building a new airport at Changi though would be no easy task. During World War II, Allied POWs had built a rudimentary airfield at Changi, and this was used as the basis for the new airport. Still, the new project was ambitious and mega in scale. Site preparations began in the middle of 1975 and would involve the reclamation of 870 hectares of land, 200 of which came from cutting down hills, while the rest of the 670 hectares were reclaimed from the sea. Finally, in 1979, construction of the new airport began. On the 30th of June 1981, at 700 hours, Flight SQ101 from Kuala Lumpur and carrying 140 passengers touched down at Changi Airport, marking the first flight to land at the new airport. Visitors upon arrival at Changi were given a certificate and met with a lion dance and pipe band performance. Shortly thereafter, at 800 hours, the first plane departed Changi Airport, SQ192, bound for Penang. The airport was officially opened on December 29, 1981, and upon opening, only one runway and terminal were ready, with a second runway being completed in 1983 and being commissioned in 1984. By 1986, the airport had surpassed the 10 million passenger mark and construction work began on Terminal 2. Terminal 2 would be ready for operation in 1991. At the start of the new millennia, some 1,900 weekly flights were being flown out of Changi Airport by 52 different airlines, connecting Singapore to 11 cities in 52 countries around the world. As such, construction on Terminal 3 began, this to be finally finished in July 2008. Such was the demand, a budget terminal had been opened to service budget airlines in 2005, but this was closed to make way for construction of Terminal 4 in 2012. Terminal 4 was opened in 2017. Changi International Airport is no doubt a key airport in Asia and a key gateway to much of the world. In 2024, it handled some 67.7 million passengers, and as of January 2025, there are 100 different airlines connecting Singapore to 163 cities around the world through over 7,400 weekly scheduled flights. Plans for further development are already well underway, with work being conducted on a 5th terminal and the extension of the 3rd military runway to allow military and civilian use. So there is a brief history of Changi Airport. Thank you for watching and enjoy the last few seconds as we fly up into the clouds and begin the long journey to Seattle.